continuing the same line of thought here?
Yes, and what it is giving away taxpayers' money. I mean, it should have showed the leadership of Bonnie and Neely after 20 years with a redevelopment that it was time for a new leader. And then to leave somebody in, then you see the Fowler. That's typical of a leader that's been in there so long. You know, after 20 years of being in office, you're looking at it going, okay, can you come up with new ideas to change where you're at for representing your district? And to do the redevelopment thing and everybody shoot it down, especially I live in Manila, and we said, what, you nuts? We don't need that. And Fairhaven, the fire departments, you know, hired lawyers to fight their own supervisor. I mean, it just blew me away. And then to do this with Fowler and everything else, what is next for Bonnie Neely to give money away?
What would you like to see done? What would you like to work on, either alone or with others, in terms of building an alternative?
I would like to work on a standing committee to bring in businesses in Humboldt County. And I'm not talking about port development and rail. I'm talking about going to businesses and saying, hey, you make discs for computers, okay? Or something like, you know, there's all types of businesses you can bring here, you know, and go to them, solicit them to come to Humboldt County to set up shop. I mean, you have this wonderful workforce. I mean, you got 2 colleges here. I mean, my goodness, you could pull chemistry majors, you know, and all these different business majors, all these different types of disciplines. You have a workforce waiting for you right here. That's all you have to do is get them involved. And I think that's very important to have some standing committees to do these things, and then report back to the public saying, hey, we went and approached these businesses to bring in jobs in the community. We went and did this to bring in jobs in the community. We worked with the Chamber of Commerce to bring jobs in the community. You know, these things. I mean, even though, let's say it doesn't happen, but at least the public is aware and feels like you're trying to do these things. Like trying to reduce the alcohol and drug problem. That doesn't mean going around and going, hey, we have a spam report. We just did this great documentary video that we put on TV, and we're going all in the community and talking about methamphetamine. That's all great and dandy, but are you doing anything about it? I mean, that's a start, but you have to continue past that start.
Sure. And
it's very important because when I worked for the mental health department, I used to do the statistics for alcohol and drugs. Alcohol was the preferred, as a preferred drug, alcohol was preferred, I believe it was at 42%. That was the preferred drug that everybody used that went into treatment or so, and you know, in this community. Methamphetamine passed that in 2003, and it was past alcohol, the first time in the history. Then I knew there was a problem. Everybody knew there was a problem. But is it kind of like the homeless problem? We just turn our heads and drive by, and not in my neighborhood type thing, you know, and don't do anything. We've got to have these committees. We've got to get people involved to make changes, because remember, ideas don't come from just the board supervisors. It comes from people who are in your community. These are your bright individuals that live in it daily. These are the people you want to grab their intelligence and to bring change. This is what we need to do. Will it happen? It hasn't happened yet. And when's the last time the supervisors have had any standing committee on anything?
Medical Marijuana Task Force?
Oh, there we go. Yes, that's a wonderful one.
That's 3 years ago, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a wonderful one. We had another one? No. I think they're all worried about finding the guy in Manila that's going to start building how many homes out there. You know?
Samoa, yeah.
In Samoa, yeah. No, it's in Manila. It's behind the, it's by the community center.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he wants to build some homes over there and stuff, but they'll find him.
Okay.
You know, but as far as our social issues in this community, it's time for the supervisors to start getting together with residents, and I don't mean the regular residents who dictate what go on in this community. I mean your basic residents of all walks, of all economics, to come together and sit down and start coming in with ideas to how address the problems that we have in Humboldt County. That will really help. I thought, and the reason why I ran these candidates was for that. I thought this is what was very important. And I'm just appalled. And what is it now? It's May and almost June, and the election was when?
7 months ago.
And nothing has transpired. So does that kind of tell you of where we're at right now?
What would be your advice to future candidates if you weren't involved, who wanted to run against Bonnie, who wanted to run for the seat, even if Bonnie wasn't running? How would you suggest they do things differently to build on your experience to make a difference?
Well, one is try to stay away from the influence of the money in this community, or the people that, the haves, I call them the haves. Stay away from the haves. Don't get involved.
Except you need their money.
You're going to need their money, exactly. But stay away from, what I mean by stay away from the haves is don't let them run your campaign. You run your campaign and you explain what you want to do in your campaign. I mean, really come out, and everybody talks about a progressive campaign, okay? Progressive campaign is for change. It's progressive is. It's progress into something else. This is what you need to do if you're going to run in Humboldt County. Is you really got to show what the individual has not done in a better way. To show what the individual has not done, who's the incumbent, and what you can do. And hit all sides, Republicans, Democrats, really go to the committees, meet with them, discuss with them what you want to change, explain even, it's a nonpartisan election. A lot of the people up here believe it is a partisan election, but to do these things, to be vocal out there, and to really hit the streets and talk to the voters, and start early. You know, don't start in April if you're gonna, you know, in the primaries in June. You know,
Did Richard start late, you think?
No, Richard started probably just at the right time. But for Richard. But if I was going to advise a candidate, I would be starting in probably October.
For a June election the next year.
For a June primary, exactly. I would start in October. You know, you can't put your signs out, you can't do these things until a certain time, and so on and so on and so on, because they have dates and all these other things. They didn't say you can't knock on a door and talk to a voter. It doesn't say you can't go to meetings. It doesn't say you can give your speeches here and there. It doesn't say you can't show up to any of the fairs, Humboldt County Fair, or any of these things, and get organized. These are the things you need to do, and to really push to the voters what your ideology is and what you can do for change for Humboldt County. If a candidate can do that, doesn't have a smoking gun in their pocket, is well, you know, and will be well liked, and you know, the money will come, the endorsement of the voters will come. But it's what you say to the voters and what you show this community what the problems are and what needs to be fixed and who is not fixing it right now. I think that's very important, and I think you can win and then have a good team behind you, which I think is very important. It's interesting, you know, you know, the money thing has always been in politics, and I think always will. But I've also seen candidates with charisma, the great orators, the ones that have a vision, beat the odds on that. And maybe that's what elections are about. I mean, you know, it is to beat the odds, have a vision, you know, really, you have to get the masses stirred in order to win. I mean, you have to show them something that they want to, the reason why they're going to vote for you and put you in office. See, and I think that's good because it makes people reach in deep in their community to see what are the issues. And okay, I'm going to beat this person that has all this money because these are the things that the people want. Remember, you're there for the people. You're not there for the people who are giving money to you. You're there for the people because they feel they need a change, which is great. You win, you win. You lose, you lose. If you get close, I mean, like Fleming's campaign, if you get right there and you gave it, okay, my job is done. As a campaign manager, I got you 50%, right at 50%. Yeah, run with it. If you can get to that person to there, that's what your whole job is to do. And it's the candidate that pushes it past the line and then gets in office and does the things the individual is supposed to say and everything else. And as you said, you know, going back to Bonnie, 20 years in this area, that's a lot of backing from individuals. a lot of backing from everybody. It's hard to beat a 20-year incumbent. As you know, it's hard to beat an incumbent anyways. How many times do an incumbent lose in the state legislature or in Congress? How many? I mean, what, Kennedy's been there for how long? He almost lost on one time. He got really close. But,
last time in this district for Congress was Doug Bosco in 1990, and that's only because a Peace and Freedom candidate got over 10% of the vote.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, incumbents, once they get in there, because they have a vision when they start, just like everybody else. It's selling the vision. Sell the vision, the money will come. Got to sell the vision. That's important. I mean, are we just going to all roll over and go, oh, well, the Democrats going to win again? Let's have some fun. And then, see, me, I like to have fun. I like to do things that are not, I don't want to be, I mean, everybody loves to be on a winning ticket. I mean, we love to do that. But then again, the excitement of being the underdog is what I like. I love that excitement because I want, when I took Nancy Fleming, everybody said she wasn't going to win at all. I mean, we knew after Richard Marks, everybody disowned him, that it was over with. But with Nancy Fleming, it's like, oh man, Bonnie's going to beat the heck out of her and so on and so on. And I got her right there, you know? So my abilities are there. And then to take a Republican and just to go against it, you know, and then bam, get past the primary, bam, you're going to the Democrat, bam, you're going in there, that would be wonderful. I think and it wouldn't just be the election, it would also be that I'm actually reuniting a party that has been forgotten in these 3 counties of Del Norte, Humboldt, and Mendocino. And I think that would be really, really a lot of fun. I'm up to the task. So, if somebody wants to call me, and they're running, and they want to be really serious, be starting early. You have to start early. And I think it'd be a lot of fun. But I wouldn't work for the Democrats, especially in this area. There's too much infighting.
Even in the primary for someone like Richard Marks?
No. I don't know. Richard Marks, I might, but see, the problem is they're going to disown him again. Do you think they're going to go with, okay, if Richard Marks and Chesborough ran together on that, where do you think the Democratic Central Committee would, who do you think they would endorse? Chesborough, okay, so I mean, you know, this is not going to, I mean, you know, I love Richard Marks. He's a great guy, but it's the unfortunate thing on that, you know, and we've discussed about maybe me possibly working on his campaign, but we'll have to see. But I'd love to do a Republican. I would. I'd like to switch sides. And like I said, win or lose, I'd be reuniting a party, especially in Humboldt County, that could actually come together more and not just have their little barbecues once in a while. Really get focused on the issues in the community and the state. And I think that'd be wonderful.
Thanks for your time, Richard. Really appreciate it.
Hey, I really appreciate it too. A lot of fun.
Richard Mostranski, first has been